Okay, what's good, people? Um, a lot has happened. Obviously, yesterday we were not taking part of price action. We were expecting pretty much what we got. Good morning, FEG Spotter. How are you doing? Um, so yesterday's EC price action is pretty ugly, pretty nasty. That's what we wanted to avoid, and we pretty much got that. So that's good. Glad that we didn't trade. It would have been a loss. It would have had not traded as low as I would have liked it. So before trading up a little bit higher. So, but it ultimately did go lower. That's what we were looking for the whole time. So now I had outlined this fair value gap on the 15-minute chart. I mean, we're seeing it now, but ahead of time, this is what I liked. And to see if we can trade lower, I don't know if we're going to be able to take out this sell side. We may try to close this in. So this is the low end of this 15-minute gap that you see here. Hopefully it's not too laggy. Okay. So again, looking for downside objectives. Obviously, we're also inside of the new week opening gap as well. So would want to see us trade a little bit lower. Don't want to see us trade up into here if possible. Want to see us remain heavy and then trade lower. Now, if it wasn't the end of the quarter, there wasn't a lot of things kind of overlapping, I would be here live also, but I would probably already have taken this short. Okay. Not expecting up here, maybe a little bit less leverage, but also to see if we can get down there. Pretty much what I did on, what day was that? On Wednesday. Was it? No, Tuesday. Sorry, on Tuesday. Pretty much what I did on Tuesday when I had one contract in because it was a little bit of a head, but I liked it and wanted to see it trade lower. So that's what I would have done now. Maybe I would have done like 2 or 3 contracts here. They end up trading a little bit lower. So I like this OTE into this gap inside of a hourly order block. So we're getting some nice reaction here, but we'll see if there's even anything for us to take to the downside. We want to see us like respond and remove and pretty much show displacement from this level. If we can do that, then we'll be good. Remember, up here will remain a breakaway gap, and then we're going to look for a price to end up trading a little bit lower. So all that should be good. So we'll see what we end up getting today. I mean, I want to see lower prices, but you can see it's just being held completely just in ranges and not able to expand. Even though it is going lower, that's what we want to see, but in my opinion, it's not as high probability because it's not really expanding away, just kind of slowly dragging. And I don't know if it's because my phone's also on the Wi-Fi. Let me get off that. But it just seems to be slow right now. A lot slower than normal. I did start editing the second part of the vlog, so that will probably come out next week. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. I think it may come out next week, and we'll do that. I don't remember which day I released it. Maybe like Tuesday, Thursday or something, or Wednesday. Had it been on a Thursday last week or 2 weeks ago. No, last week. Yeah, I think it was last week. So we'll release it 2 weeks from like next Thursday pretty much is when we'll release it. So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to put in this second one. So obviously you'll figure out where I am for those of you who don't know. And then you'll see a little bit of like where I'm staying. It's kind of cool. So I still have to do low-key. I still got to do a room tour, which I haven't done. I haven't done an apartment tour. Still haven't done that. So I'll get that done next week for sure. For sure. But yes, I took the headphones off because they felt a little when I was listening to it, it felt like there was like a humming noise. So I took it off. So hopefully this is a little bit better. If there's still a humming noise, then I'm not really sure how to get rid of that. Yeah, hopefully it's not there. So make sure my phone doesn't overheat, actually. But yeah, lower prices. That's what we want to see. That's what we're looking for. Good morning, Dre Bank, SMC. Good morning, bro. So we're looking for lower prices today. We'll see if that's what we're going to end up getting. Is it just being held? So, and it's like the quarter, the end of the quarter. So don't really want to be too involved. I want to see this gap hold. I don't want to see a trade up here. I want to see this remain a breakaway gap. This right here. I think it's really balanced. We have this, and then we have that. And then we trade up to almost half of this. So I want to see this remain open. I don't know if I still have it on here. I don't. I'll just think anything box. So pretty much right here, I don't want to see price trade up there. I understand we have, highs here and OTE there. I just don't want to see a trade there. I want to see it remain heavy. Remain heavy, create a swing high here if we can. Again, if this was also a breaker nested in there, we have on a lower time frame, we have mitigation blocks. We have a lot of things there. Yeah. A lot of things in there for me that would be so even with this breaker here, we want to elect to take this mitigation block here, high, low, higher, lower, high, extend out in time, which we did hit. So this right there would be I think I have, where is it? I don't have it on this one. But if this was not end of the quarter and anything like that, I would already be in there short already. Expecting to see it take something off there and see if we can reach down and close in this gap. That's what I would be looking for. On the 15-minute chart, I think that we'd leave that open, close in this range. That would be my target, but I just I don't like the way this price action looks, so I'd rather demo today instead of doing it on the fundeds. So, but that's where I would have liked to enter at before and see if we can get some softness there. Again, remember this gap up here, we want to see it remain heavy and not trade up to this gap. So you said, what about the breaker that's nested within your hoping to be okay? The breaker you're talking about, this would be a mitigation blocker. Maybe I have the wrong one. Yeah, maybe I have the wrong one. I don't know if you're talking about here, right here, like this high getting rated. I don't know if you're talking about that one. Now, price is, again, able to come up in here, but when you look on just a higher time frame, this just looks it wasn't even strong enough to trade up into this gap, and then we displaced below here, but we also have this wick, which is a gap, and then we filled it in again. So I just wouldn't want to see that. I would just want to see weakness. Now, it can still obviously do that, right? Price can still obviously trade up into that, but I'm seeing this as weakness and this not wanting to trade up into there. I wouldn't want to see it trade up into there. That's pretty much like what I'm looking at. Also, you just have all this over here too. Look at all this congestion here as well. So I would want to see this remain heavy and then take this range right there. That range is OTE and then trading lower. So it's telling me to consider turning down my video output, but I don't really know what else I'm doing. Is it laggy on your guys' end? Or are you guys good? Okay, you just want to know my thoughts? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's just what I'd want to see, right? Remain heavy, and then we have all this choppiness. And I understand that's kind of high resistance, so you may kind of expect, I guess, a deeper run. But then also when you look at ES, let's go to ES real quick. Notice how ES has a very, very small gap up here, but this looks really, really efficiently traded too. We have all this congestion here too. So that's just like kind of what I was looking at and why I wouldn't want to see a trade up there. It can, obviously, but I wouldn't want to see that personally. I do see this, clean high here. I just wouldn't want to see a trade all up into there. But we'll see what happens here. If we can frame something, then we'll take it. If it goes up there, obviously it can, but I wouldn't want to see a trade there. I just want to see it just drop quickly. That's what I would want to see. So it looks like we're getting that. initial drop quick with speed, and then want to see it trade down to 23,926. That would be the full closure of the 15-minute gap. Again, without the extra stuff that I kind of talked about, I would already been in there short, expecting this to hold. But from what I explained to you, it's reason why I wasn't in there live, or I didn't take it ahead even on demo. Because I want to do things on demo that I would do things live, right? Even though I explained this, again, I wouldn't have taken this live because of everything I explained. So I'm not just going to take it just to take it. This is more tape reading at this point for that. So want to see the continuation of this going lower. And we'll see if we can find something. Again, this we want to remain a breakaway gap and target here. That's what I want to see. Right now we're getting that. NQ looks to be a little bit weaker than ES. ES looks to be holding a little bit more. But that's what I'm looking at. Let's see if we're close to anything. Also, okay, I forgot to tell you because I did it on my own. When you go to the hourly chart, right? If you take the consequent encroachment of this, the consequent encroachment of this BISI, it overlaps with this 1 hour order block. So I just looked inside the 1 hour order block and I tried to see what was there, and I saw this gap. So that's why I didn't expect it to go up there as well. I forgot to mention that too. That would be my expectation. Because if you take that range, put it equilibrium of that, the hourly order block sits right there, and then you have this gap inside of the hourly order block. And if we're looking for lower prices, we wanted to see it remain heavy. That's what we would want to see. So that's why I was expecting what I saw as well. Again, we want to see this just tank. So if I was short in this gap, I would take something off there, majority of it off here, and to see if it can go there. And this is best case scenario, taking out the weekly. I think that's the weekly low or intra-week low right there. Because I already believe that the high has already been set. So the high of the week, in my opinion, has already been set. So we should be looking for lower prices. But we'll see. Let's see if we can get an entry in here. We'll see if we can get one. Now ES is starting to kind of follow suit. So we'll see if we can get one. So now if ES can kind of do the same thing, do something very similar, we trade below this, swing here, and we create a fair value gap, just short this. It'd be a breaker into a 15-minute gap, but that would need to occur for me to take anything right now, even off demo. That needs to happen. And then we'll look for closure if we can do that. So this would be a breaker block once it trades below it. So yeah, if we can trade below it, breaker block, and then we look for shorts. Let's see if we can close in this complete closure. So I think it's just waiting a little bit. Remember, the 5-minute is almost, we have like, what, 25 seconds? So this would be the order block. Excuse me, on a 5-minute chart. That price could tap up into. So 5-minute order block here, it needs to close below. It can tap up into that. And then that would be a breaker there. If it does it, I may actually try one. If it can do that. It's lagging right now, so I don't know if it's going to give me that option. But we need to create if not, it's showing weakness. That's fine. We can create a gap below here. It trades back up into it. Then we'll look best case scenario here. And we'll see if we can get there. But that's would be my thought process. Ideally, right now, I kind of want to see it trade below this low. And even if it can close below, like it needs to close below it. All right, here. It needs to close below it. Come back up into it, then I'll short it, and then see if we can go like that. That's pretty much what I'll be looking for. So we want to watch this order block on the 1 minute chart to see if it's showing weakness, and shows it not having the ability to even trade up to the 5 minute order block, which it can. Still possible. In 8 minutes, if it closes below, we would have inversed a bullish 15-minute gap. So we'll watch to see that. Again, we're looking down here. Nothing up here. I like that displacement away, but you see how like once it's trading up to the levels, it's kind of just holding and not really allowing it to release. That's why I'm not necessarily very excited in today, or else I would have already been short. But it's just, I don't think it's high probability today at all. And it's just my opinion. So that'll be the 5 minute order block that it would be hitting into, not the 1 minute. Remember we outlined that. Again, wouldn't want to see the 1 minute gap close either, right? Don't want to see us completely fill this gap. If we can leave it open, that's good. Don't want to see it completely close it. But again, a lot of consolidation the whole day. Pretty much the whole week, in my opinion. It's been a lot of that. So just want to demand a little bit more from price. It's just my thoughts here. Again, we're in a deep discount compared to like the opening. So midnight opening is way above us. The regular trading hours close and open is way above us. I believe that the weekly high is already placed. So we should be looking for sell side. And this is just closure of a 15-minute gap. This would be external range. So, but we'll see what we get here. Because as you can see, even if I was short up here, nice short, it's still just kind of hanging around. Wouldn't want to see that by now. I'd want to already see it have taken this out already. Now I understand it's 9:38, so it's been 8 minutes since the market opened. I understand that, but I would have already expected it to take at minimum this low out. So if it does not trade up here, that's even better, because that'll mean that'll be a breakaway gap on a 5 minute, because I don't think it should come back up in there, but we need to see closure below here. That's just what I want to see personally. It says encoding overload. Consider, is it good on your guys' end? Can someone just let me know? Because I don't know what it's trying to say by that. As long as it's good on your end, I'll keep everything the way it is. I haven't changed anything, but I just want to make sure it's good. So I'm going to get closure below this low, and then that's when I would take something there. I'm going to put our stop loss above here. Above here, I know there's a 5 minute gap up there, that's fine. I put my entry at the close of the breaker. That's fine. I'm trusting that this is going to go lower, readjust then, and we'll kind of see what happens there. But this is kind of what I'm looking at here. I want to see us trade a little bit lower to close in that gap, the breaker block, after trading up into that, and then you have those 2 order blocks there. That's just what I'm want to see price hold. If it doesn't, it just doesn't do it. So I believe that my stop loss, if it's going to go lower from, where it's at right now, I'm expecting it to be safe. If not, there's a gap up there, and then if it goes up and rejects there, then we will have to readjust or see what happens at that point. So I like that that price was held in that inside the breaker. I like that, at least initially, but we'll see. So I do notice and see that there's SMT between ES and NQ, but I'm expecting this to go lower. I would not have put my stop loss way above here at all. I believe that you have those 2 down close candles, you have the breaker block. That's what I was expecting price to hold into. I still believe we're going to go lower. I'm not thinking higher, but again, it can do whatever. I don't like how we close outside, in my opinion. Us closing outside, we have a minute and about 2 minutes left, so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna get stopped out here. It might want to trade up into that 5-minute gap, but I wouldn't. Okay, so there's the 5-minute gap, probably, I think, trading into. Yeah, so there it is there. So we'll see if we get the reaction off of that. So we'll see when we get there. Again, I'm not looking for higher prices, so I wouldn't. If I took a loss, I took a loss here. If it kept going higher and higher and higher and higher, I would just wait till 12, and then I'd want to see a breakdown of that. That's how I would look at it. So want to see what we get here. So most likely gonna wait for another entry. It would be at 950, 1010, and we'll see what price is doing there, because that's the macro time. What is it there? Macro time. So we have ES trading higher. Remember, ES failed to take out this exact low. And now we have, we'll see if there's some SMT to the downside. Or to the upside, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what I would have expected. I would not have expected it to trade up in here. That's why my stop loss would have never been up there. I don't think that it should be back in there, in my opinion. We did obviously have SMT there, but I'm not looking for higher prices, so I would have never done that. But we'll see. See what happens. So right now the hourly order block is getting ran through here. And notice, look on the hourly chart as well. We have this candle, then we have this candle, then we have this candle. This candle traded up into this gap here, traded down. So again, I think it's very efficiently traded to. I think this is just like a deep, deep stop run. I want to see where the bodies close. I think this is still not going up or higher. I see this gap. I can close it. I think that was just a deep, deep stop run. That's just that's. I don't think this is gonna be respected at all. I think it's gonna run through this gap. Let's take this off. But again, I could be wrong. So I'm watching that candle. So now we just took out that high. I don't think that 15-minute gap is going to do anything right now. At all. Because we have about 11 minutes left. And the way that it's closing, I don't think we're going to hold that gap. So this may get traded to from where this is right now. Just looking at it, it shouldn't have ran through this gap the way that it did, let alone come back up here, in my opinion. So it may trade a little bit higher. But again, I'm not very, very excited about today. We'll see here. Did we trade this some opening price? Nope. Oh, we may have traded to an opening price, but we'll see. I just think that was a deep stop run. That's just what I personally think. But we shall see what we get here. Macro time's coming soon. Macro time. Macro time. So about 10 minutes or so for the to see if this 15-minute, the way the 15-minute candle closes here, trades above that, then we may hit this gap that I wanted to see remain a breakaway gap. That may be like the next target. But yeah, trading there to there is a fine trading model. That's just not what I would have been looking for. And I wasn't in, obviously. Tell you, all these new tattoos I got from the turf bothers me sometimes. First of all, these people here, I don't know what happened. Like, I guess I've been here for 2 weeks or so. I'm not sure what happened after 8 or 9 o'clock. These people just be yelling all the time. I don't know what. It just started to happen too. So that's the annoying thing. And it's a whole bunch of people. It's not just one person. It's mad people doing it. No, thank you. Okay, so right now, ES is trading up into its respective gap. Like this one up here. ES is inside of that one. Just make sure. Yeah. ES is inside of that right now, which I didn't think that it needed to be traded to. But again, could be wrong. Yeah, at this point, if it keeps doing this, I'll probably hop off at 10. But the thing that I would do is at like the next trade I'd probably take would have to be after 12. Just if it keeps trading higher, and if it does not break down or is not breaking down and doesn't show displacement, then I wouldn't be, then this would be the only trade I'd have for today. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what we get there. Again, I explained why I wouldn't want to see this get traded to. Doesn't mean that it can't, but that's why I would not have wanted to see that get traded to. I would have wanted to seen it remain open and us trade softer. Just want to know your thoughts. Am I familiar with? No, I don't. I think I've heard of him, but I don't. I don't watch him. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I've heard his name before, I think, but I don't watch his stuff. I think someone messaged me or something. I took some trade or something, and someone messaged me and was like, "Okay," like his name is Charmaine or something. I didn't know who he was talking about. I guess we took the same trade one time, or similar trades or something. I don't know. But yeah, I just wouldn't want to see that. I just want to see that remain a breakaway gap. But from here, we would need to break down quickly, or else we're probably not doing that. That could be the OTE. But I think it's balanced. That's why I wouldn't have done it. Oh, you want his current mentees? Okay, nice. Yeah, no, I try to keep it very, the lighting is messing on my computer. I try to keep it very simple. I used to have a whole bunch of, yeah, I had too much of his stuff. I'm out of ICT stuff on my screen and stuff, and I didn't know how to use it. So I try to make it very simple, just the gaps. I'm looking to see, obviously, discount premium. I explained why I didn't expect it to trade up there, but obviously it wants to go there. It's fine. But I would not have expected it based off what the day has been, what the week has looked like. Like, it's just very choppy. So that's why I wasn't as excited for today as I was like on Tuesday. That one was pretty quick. But even if I was long, right? The only long would have been here at 947, potentially inside this gap, expecting it to inverse, and then I would have to target, because I target session highs and lows, so it'd have to be here. No, there. So I'd have to be targeting all the way up there. Obviously, you would take partials at levels, but you have to target. That's just kind of how I look at it, right? I don't even think that it hit it, but I think it probably should. Just make sure on the other side. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. I'm on the wrong thing. My fault. My fault. Okay, so it tapped into it a little bit there. Probably by half a handle. Oh, I don't have the high. It tapped into it, that gap, the breakaway gap that I wanted to see it not hit, but obviously it did that. Oops. So now that it did that, now what you want to see is this order block be heavy, but I think it may try to do a deeper run inside. But we shall see. So there's an order block. after trading into that gap that I didn't want to see open or didn't want to see hit, but it's fine. So we'll see what the reaction we get off of that. So this is on the 1 minute chart. It's on the 5 minute chart. What does it look like? Again, yeah, there's that overlapping. Like, I see all that stuff there. I just wouldn't personally wanted to see a trade there that deep. So we hit this low end of it. Does it offer any resistance? I don't think so. I think it may want to do one more deeper run in there. Could be, but we need to see displacement away. That'll be the signature. We need to see displacement after hitting that gap. I don't see that yet. So I could want to do one more stab in there. Once you see displacement, then you're good. So we can take this off. Can take that off. Okay, so we're starting to see some displacement here. Again, still same idea. Not looking higher. I don't think it needs to. So we're starting to get some displacement here. But what you don't want to see is like too much overlapping. Like you don't want to see a whole bunch of immediate rebalances. You want to see some gaps being left open. Once you start to see those gaps left open and not completely fill in, then you're golden. Then you are golden. That's how I would look at it right now. But we'll see. Again, looking lower, not looking for any buys. 0 buys. 0, 0, 0 buys. What I am looking at though is this. These candles. There. So now because I took more of an aggressive entry here, I would want to see this create a gap and then trade back up into it, but we may not get that. This one may tap it and then run. Or it may not even. Sorry, it should be here. I'm tripping. So we have about, 50 seconds or so. That would need to close it. And if it does that, see, now I don't want this. Now for me, I don't like this. That's done. Not a fan of that. It may want to go back up there one more time. No, thank you. Nope. So you have 10 seconds in the way that this last 10 seconds. But again, remember we have a new 4-hour candle about to open. So wait for this new 4-hour candle to open, take out the high, and then reject. I don't want to see it. So this one didn't take out the high, but ES did. So now we have to create the high of the 10 o'clock candle on the 4-hour chart. We got to create the high of that. So the order block on the 1 minute chart still held, but now we want to see displacement. After displacement on this one, if we can get it to the downside, it can displace. Then we take it again. But if not, then pretty much nothing. Dang. Joint kind of hurt a little bit. But yeah, this end of the quarter trading stuff, not for me. End of quarter. Yeah, I'm gonna say on to like 10-10. If it doesn't do anything by then again, I'm not looking for higher. If it keeps going higher, then that is nothing that I'm interested in. I'm thinking it may want to do one more and then stab. Now, if we close above this, then like yeah, everything for me would be done off the tables. Come on, brother. Need some displacement. Just on a little bit lower time frame. Let's just look at that. Yeah, it may want to trade up a little bit higher first and then potentially break down. Because ES were close to these highs where NQ were not as close. Like this gap should definitely hold us. But we'll see. Not much here. I might put on my headphones, see if it's a little bit better. Maybe it's slightly better with my headphones on. Okay, cool it. Yeah, we're kind of just consolidating here. Let's see. Again, I don't think it's even gonna take out the low. If anything, I would have expected the I mean, we hit the previous week's close as well. That's what this is down here. But I would have expected us to kind of just drop after what I explained a little bit of before. But I hope that you guys can hear me a little bit better. I hope it's not like blowing your eardrums out. Because it looks like I'm fine on the talking meter. But hopefully, yeah, y'all are good. I didn't have any complaints last time. All right, bet. Appreciate it. So yeah, there's this. Yeah, today, like this week has just been very, very choppy. Interesting how we went back up to. If you take the midnight opening range and you take the first standard deviation below the Asian range, there are these two. The first two standard deviations, which would be the -4 and the -4.5. That's actually what we trade into. The highest level was 24,228 and a quarter. And that's like kind of what we're hitting now, which I find very interesting. Now there is that, obviously, this breakaway gap, which I would have wanted to see remain open. Now we traded up into it a little bit, not too much, but I'm thinking we may want to do one more stab higher, just the way the ES looks. And let me explain that to you, why I would potentially think that it might want to go a little bit higher, even with NQ. So we have these highs right here that it may want to trade up into on ES. So the same highs are here, which I don't think that we should come back up there. We may have to, but I wouldn't think that we should come up into there. And that would still allow one more stab above into this, maybe consequent encroachment and displacement. Why I'm not really interested in much right now, because we're not seeing displacement yet at all. Even, am I tripping? Oh, I'm like, where's the stuff? We haven't seen displacement yet, so there's no selling in my mind right now until it does something. It hasn't really done anything to the downside. Here was a nice initial, so we stabbed up one more time. Now I'd want to see us displace if we can do that. Because ES should have taken out those highs. So we'll see if we get some displacement here. Remember, we're watching the bodies. Wait, now you don't hear anything? Wait, can you guys not hear me now? Can you guys hear me? So you can hear me. FAG spotter, I think it's you. They can't hear me. Yeah, I think it's you that can't hear me, because Dre Banks SMC said I'm good. So I think it's you. So yeah, here I'd want to see or expect some displacement. This isn't displacement. That's not displacement either. It needs to be clear. Very, very clear displacement. We don't have that right now. Not yet, at least. Okay, looks like we're starting to get something here. Starting. Now we have these two down close candles. Obviously there's the wicks. I'm gonna like to use the bodies as an order block here. I guess I can take that off. Just move it down to this one. The opening price of those two up close candles, would want to see that drop. So we'll see if that up close candle offers some type of resistance. And if it does, then we'll kind of elect to say that we're on sides right now. If it even fails to get there and it displaces again, even better. Even better. So I'll stay on to like 10:30, and after 10:30 I'll pop off. So we have that order block with that fair value gap. There's some displacement. We need to see a little bit more. Because for me, especially, like if I hadn't taken a trade yet, and let's say I thought it was going up here, I'd take this one. And then put my stop loss there. But because I've already been aggressive and taken one, I need to see more. That's just how I filter out after I've lost. I can be more aggressive on the first trade. After that, I have to kind of sit and see the signatures that I want to see in price. And right now, on the regular trading hours, this is what it looks like. So, sell side is there. Again, I'm not expecting much for even tomorrow as well. It's just waiting. So we're not getting the same clean price runs. Even this isn't a very nice price run. It's very choppy. But I also think that this is against the higher time frame. So we'll see. As of right now, I like the way that is because I'm watching how the candles are forming in the time. So I'm on the 5-minute or the 1-minute chart. How are they forming? Because for me, if we take out this high again before 10:30, I'm good. I just would wait until 12, but I'm not gonna come back on. But so we need to see this displace lower here. You can trade up into these candles, remember. We just don't want to see on a closing basis pretty much the 50%, which would be right there. So closing basis, we don't want to see a trade above 24,210 and 0.75. We don't want to see that. Now here we want to see it displace. Not too much higher. Now if we can displace below this low, we create a gap here and trade up into that. I would like that and see if we can take that out. Even if it happens, I'm good. If it happens a little bit farther away from 10:30, I'll take it. If it happens like close to 10:30, I'm just not gonna take it because I don't want to really babysit it. So that's how I would do it. So 24,010. Essentially, we don't see a trade. Essentially, we don't want to see a trade to that low. And then we just want to see some displacement here. Because then this would be a mitigation block. High, low, lower high, inside of a gap. If we create displacement here, could target there. So on a closing basis, don't want to see a trade close above that low. Just put a line there. Right there. It can trade there, just cannot close above that. And I don't even like how it even closed it in. You want to see the gaps remain open. It's not doing that right now. It's my hard stop right there. Yeah, when it's closer to the end, even one of my friends was kind of talking about it. Gotta protect mental capital. Right now, this is a lot of mental capital being wasted. See, I don't like that. Like, it shouldn't even do that. So the fact that it closed above it, yes, we've had that reaction. It shouldn't be up there, right? Good trades don't have these signatures. They just don't. Or high probability, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They don't have those signatures. They don't just run through that. And even if you're looking for buys, this is still not high probability because look how much it's just consolidating. It's still not low resistance on the upside either. So I kind of want to see us take this out. That's fine. And kind of I'll close the stream at that point if we take out that high and then just I'll see you guys tomorrow though. I'll be on tomorrow again. Not trading with my funded either. It's not worth it. So we'll see. Yeah, we close above that. Don't like that at all. That's what happened yesterday. We can go talk about that. I mean, I didn't take a trade yesterday, but I would have lost just because of the where is it? Was it on the 5-minute chart? Yeah, here. We had this. We had SMT at a weekly open. Displacement. I would have taken this breaker and would have lost. And then it would have just pretty much consolidated to drop lower. But then if I waited till after 12, here we'd be at a discount. Wait for OTE after 12. This would be closer to 1. But see how it even trades lower. But then look how long it takes for it to do that, right? To me, that's not high probability. So I didn't even trade. I was gonna trade yesterday. Then I looked and saw the economic calendar. Trump was speaking. I looked at the price action. I didn't like the way it looked. So I was not interested. Let me see if we have SMT there. I think it's this one. We do, but yeah, I wouldn't trust it. I would not trust it at all. Nope, not at all. Yeah, hopefully we can, price action can start, picking up a little bit soon. But yeah, that's just... Trust me, if I was on my live account right now, I'd be so angry. Because I know. Because there's nothing for me to do here. Here there was something, as I didn't expect this to get traded to. It did. But then at this point, there's literally nothing. I would have wanted to see this one. If I didn't take this one, I'd be in now. But then I'd be sitting in what is this? This is way too deep. Way, way too deep. Because we traded through the gap already. We traded through mean threshold of this. We hit the rejection block and closed through that. So that's 3 arrays pretty much already getting traded through, right? That's what ICT said. If there's 3 arrays, it doesn't mean that this can't win. But if there's 3 arrays, then your stop loss is next. And we traded through 1, 2, 3. Remember, the body's closed above the rejection block. Now we do have SMT here with ES, but still it's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Let's see what we get here, guys. Let's see what we get here. Because to me, this is like a false bear flag. ICT core content month 2. That's what this looks like to me. Get above the high. It's right at a fair value gap. That's what it looks like to me. I don't think I'll mess it on here for 10 more minutes, to be honest. I really have no interest. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. Hopefully everything is better. Yeah, I think the internet connection is definitely worse today because it's saying frames dropped at 1.7. It's usually never like that. So I'm not sure. Maybe everyone is using the internet today or something. I have no idea. But I'm going to hop off right now. I'm still taking a picture of this. Hold up. Try to short down there. Again, still, this is where my eye is. We'll see if that happens. Just more for there. Yeah, I don't even think we'll get down there today, to be honest. I think we'll just trade up a little bit higher. But we'll see. Take a picture of that. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hopping on. I'll be on tomorrow again. Yeah, at I think 9:20 your time, or EST. I'll put it like that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Appreciate it, man. Dre Banks. Hope you have a great one, man. Appreciate you for stopping by. All right, peace out, guys.